I'm on day 9 of my Uganda safari, and behind me is a waterhole full of zebra. Mburo National Park is absolutely incredible. To get this up close and personal with African wildlife is something completely special, and it's everything I thought that Uganda would be. It certainly has delivered, and I know why now they call it the Pearl of Africa. It is very special, and there's a hippo right there in the waterhole to the side of me. It's got everything, this place, absolutely everything. Mburo National Park is called the Zebra Magnet. These are plain zebra, and they are just everywhere in this park. This is Africa at its finest. This experience in Mburo National Park is brilliant. The way that you can track the animals on foot and get this close to African wildlife. I can't quite believe it. It's so amazing. These Nubian giraffes used to be called Rothschild's giraffe, and the Nubian giraffe is a subspecies of the northern giraffe. This is Giraffe camelopardalis camelopardalis. All the babies here are around the same age, and they usually start most of their breeding in September, so they're all born around the same time, and the calves can suckle from any of the females, which creates these cohesive bonds within the tower of giraffes, as the group is known, and so they really are bonded. The little cones on the top of its head are called ossicones. The females have their ossicones covered in fur. They are made of ossified cartilage, which is very different to bone, like a rhino horn. This is an adolescent male, and he still has a lot of fur on his ossicones because he hasn't started fighting a lot yet. And when they do, they fight with their necks, and that's called necking, and that will scrape off the fur. So at the moment he's not doing that, so he's got lots of fur on his ossicones, and he's a beautiful specimen. This little baby giraffe here, you can see it was scratching its neck on the tree because they have a lot of ticks on them, so it makes them feel much more comfortable if they can have a good old scratch. So they use the trees or the bushes to do that. There's giraffe everywhere. There are over 2,000 giraffe in Uganda. It's a conservation success story. This is the tallest giraffe in the world, and they're really distinct. You can see their coats. They're very dark brown, orange patches surrounded by the beige, and it's very distinct of this subspecies. Absolutely beautiful. The males can grow up to 20 feet tall and weigh 3,600 pounds. That's massive. And to be up close and personal with them, walking in the grass savanna, which they absolutely love, is a real dream come true for me. Wow. To be this close to a giraffe in the wild, in their natural habitat, wow, that's all I can say. So within this group there are no dominant males. It's mainly adolescent males, females and babies, and that is because most adult males are solitary. They don't need to be or want to be in a group like this unless there's a need for mating, which at the moment there isn't. And also the females tend to give so much attention to their young that they don't give the male enough attention, so they don't want to be here, so they go off on their own. A male giraffe can tell if a female is in season and ready to mate by her pee, which smells very different to those that aren't in season. And at times like that, then the male will come into a group because he has a need for mating and there's something for him to do, I guess, which is good for him. But it's amazing. The giraffe is right there. I can't really emphasize that enough. I am absolutely floored by that experience.
Giraffes have a very complicated life with their unique anatomy. Even just drinking water comes with complications. In order for a giraffe to drink water, it has to spread its forelegs very wide so that the neck can come close enough to the ground. But with its legs spread like this, they are weak, unstable and vulnerable to predators. And this is precisely the reason why giraffes will only drink once in a while. They can go for weeks without drinking and survive by being able to derive sufficient water from the green leaves that they eat, that make up a majority of their diet. Giraffes love eating the leaves and the bark of the Acacia polyacantha tree, which not only helps to maintain a healthy gut and digestive system, but also provides medicinal properties to protect against gastrointestinal infections. Giraffes can consume up to 29 kilograms of acacia leaves and twigs in a day. As a result, the acacia trees have developed a defense mechanism to ensure their survival from hungry giraffes. If a tree detects overgrazing, the leaves of the acacia tree release tannins that taste terrible to the giraffe, and so they stop eating them. This defense mechanism is so effective that other trees in the vicinity also react to the tree's tannin release and start to release their own tannins, which forces the giraffes to move on or go upwind to trees that have not yet detected the tannins that are being released by their neighbours. The giraffe also has one of the highest blood pressures of any mammal and is twice that of a human. With its head being up to 3 meters above its heart, it has to pump hard enough to overcome huge hydrostatic pressures generated by the tall column of blood in its neck to make sure the head is provided with sufficient nutrients and oxygen. The gestation period for a giraffe is around 15 months, and calves are born into a neutral birthing ground to all females in the herd, which is slightly open so that they can keep an eye out for danger and predators. When a female gives birth, she does not lay on the ground, leaving her vulnerable to attack. Instead, the baby drops out from over 2 meters, helping to disconnect the placenta away from the mother and baby. The mother will then immediately start licking her calf to remove as much birthing scent as possible so not to attract predators.
I thought I might be able to go, relatively close, but I was literally about 3 meters away from a wild giraffe in Africa. I'm not sure it gets any better than that.